It's been a long time since I've posted anything on YouTube. So, get to the point. I am having an anxiety attack. Now, the reason that I've chosen to go to YouTube, and because I know everybody's on there, stories and Instagram and Facebook Live and all that, because I actually don't have very many subscribers. And I don't even think any of my subscribers are active anymore. And I know it sounds backwards, but to post something like this on my Facebook or my Instagram, where a whole lot of people that I know follow me, I don't want sympathy. I just want understanding, and I want people to understand that anxiety and depression is very real, and it's not something that the people who are actually struggling with it, it's not something that we just made up. It's not just like a mindset, because if we could change our mindset easily, it would have been done. Like, nobody chooses to have this problem. I don't want to be addressed about it. I didn't go to church today. Is because I don't want to be fake. Even though I know the environment is better for me, at the same time, I hate to walk in and have to smile and be like, oh, yeah, I'm blessed and highly favored in the Lord. I feel so good and blessed today. People ask, you all right? How you doing today? And I just be like, oh, yeah, I'm good. And really inside, I'm like, I don't even want to be around anybody right now. That's the reason why I hate when people ask me, how you doing today? And I work in customer service, so I hear that all day long. And in reality, I'm like, dude, just what do you want? Just get your shit and go. Like, I don't need all the pleasantries. We don't have to stop and talk about the weather. People want to hear, oh, I'm good. I'm wonderful. How are you? When in reality, it's, I'd rather be anywhere but here right now. I'd rather be in my bed. I'd rather be sitting in my car than to be where I am right now. I even had somebody ask me, it was like, why do I need you to smile more? Act like you want to be here. I said, I don't. Like, I'm not happy to be here. What do you want? Like, you want the truth, or you want me to sit here and be fake? I'm allergic to being fake. I just can't. I can't. Even though I look like I have, my stuff together, like maybe I'm just, a little down. I'm not feeling it today. I'm having an anxiety attack. So I might look normal, but I'm having an anxiety attack. And I think I've gotten through the worst part of it, the most of it. But yeah, it started last night. It started yesterday, actually, probably about mid-afternoon. So yeah, they can last a long time. And the worst part about it is that it takes a lot out of you. So then you actually have to recover from the anxiety attack and everything that it already has brought you. And I know what triggered it. So I guess that's a plus, but at the same time, you're aware that, okay, why did this even trigger this? Like, why am I worried about this? Why am I upset about this? Like, there's no reason for me to even feel this way, but I do. I can't control it. And my trigger was that something was supposed to happen. It was scheduled, and it didn't happen. And it could have happened in one way where, because if I'm in a situation where it's like I'm with a group and I get comfortable with that group, and it's like our situations happen with that group, then if certain people are not involved in that group, like if it gets to be where it's just me and like one other person, or somebody that I'm used to, that I'm comfortable around, is not going to be involved, it's difficult for me to even be in that situation. So my social anxiety kicked in with somebody that I love to death, like, is my sister, but because the other person, the third person that's in our little circle, wasn't involved, like, she wasn't even involved in the group text. Like, I don't know what's happening with her. She wasn't even involved in that. I just felt like I could not handle a social situation by myself. So that's where that started, with social anxiety. And then it moved into anger. And I was angry because of the fact that we scheduled this like 2 or 3 weeks ago. So why did we go through the process of scheduling it? To make sure everybody was available, just to let it pass by. Because that's something else that I hate. I hate to schedule something and be like, okay, this is going to happen, we're going to do this. And then everybody just drops out for no reason. It's like, oh, I'm prepared to do this. And then everybody else is just like, okay, fuck it, I don't feel like it. So then I was angry. And then because all of this is going on in my brain, I can't parent how I need to parent, which is even more difficult because both of my kids have autism. So they don't really know what personal space is. And usually I can deal with it. Even if I've come home and I've been at work all day. That's what it is. They're kids, that's what they're going to do. Even with them just being in the room with me. It's like I didn't want them in the room with me. And I love my kids. I would go to war for my kids. But it's like I just felt like I had to be by myself. And that's a real hard thing to do because my youngest, he loves to just be around me. He was really clingy. He's been really clingy in the past couple of days. And he just seemed to be extra clingy last night. And I don't know if it's because he sensed something, but he just seemed to be extra clingy. So he came in the room. He usually does, I was playing Candy Crush. They love to sit and watch me play Candy Crush. He don't have a problem with it. As long as, they're just sitting there watching and I can see what I'm doing, no problem with it. I want my kids to know that I want them around. I don't want them to feel like I don't want them around. So, especially when I've been at work all day and they haven't seen me, I want to make sure that they know that I do want them around. But it actually got to a point that my youngest he got up on the bed and he pushed himself, up on me to look at my phone. And I actually nudged him back. And it wasn't like my usual, like, oh, come on, Mari, like, what are you doing? Like, I nudged him back, like, and my brain was like, get off of me. And I have to get to a point where I have to control myself so I don't yell at my kids unnecessarily. Because I don't want them to think that they're doing something wrong when they're not. And it's all me. So in addition to not being able to parent the way I need to parent, then I have trouble being the wife that I need to be. Because my husband can't talk to me. I just want to be left by myself. I just feel like I need space. But then mental health decides, like, hey, I want to be by myself, but when I'm by myself, I feel like you don't care about me. Like, you don't care what's going on. It's something that you can't control it. And I wish I could. I wish to God that I could. Even though I'm on medication for it. I was doing really well on my last medication, but I had to switch because of the fact that there was a side effect that was really, it was a big issue in my marriage, and it was something that I couldn't continue doing. I just, because even though I made a lot of progress with that medication, it worked so well for me, and I've been on it for like 2 years. I had to switch because of that one side effect. it just got worse and worse over time. And we've had so many arguments because of this side effect, and we didn't realize that it was a side effect of the medicine. So when I found out, and I went to my doctor and told her what was going on, she was like, "Yeah, it's the medication for sure." So I was like, "Okay, well, let's switch it over then if that's what we can do." And I've been good with this medication. I felt like I was in a whole new place, and I just in the past few months, I guess, I've been in a really different headspace. I have felt happy, like genuinely happy, where it's like stuff hasn't really bothered me. I mean, stuff that, like all the crap that's going on in my job, that shouldn't be happening at my job. That's really like a big issue for my department. That's been bugging me. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, I'm just going to go home and chill, and it's none of my business. It's like, I don't want to be at work. I don't want to have to go to work every day. I mean, who does? But I felt like I didn't need anything else. Like, I was okay. Like, I could, with the resources that I've had over the past year or so, I was good. I felt like I could deal with it. And then all of a sudden, just one trigger. And this trigger, it went from social anxiety to anger. Then it rolled over into depression. And I literally just saw my doctor last week and told her that I haven't been depressed, that I had felt good. So I have been trying to recover from that depression. Now, in the midst of all this, mind you, this happened in like 3 or 4 hours last night. It put me in a position where, because my kids kept coming in my bedroom trying to be around me and I couldn't take it, I just, in pajamas, same thing I got on right now, this night shirt and some sweatpants, I put on some sneakers and I went to go sit in my car because I thought I just needed some me time. So I just went and I sat in silence. And then I decided that, okay, maybe I need to, catch up on my Transformation Church sermons, because I've been slacking on those. And there might be something in there that could help me right now. So I play one on, my little podcast app. I started it and I was listening and I was just trying to take it in. And just out of nowhere, I just decided, wait, I saw this post on Facebook about Sugar and Kush that is CBD products. This got really good reviews. I'm going to try that now. I was going to wait. Do I really have like the extra money to do all that? But no, I went ahead and ordered. And I just said, fuck it. But no, that wasn't the end of it. Because then I decided I'm going to go order me a cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory. A whole cheesecake. Now, mind you, it was one of those 7 inches, so it's not like a big one. But it was $25. That in itself is an issue because I would never, ever spend $25 on a cheesecake. I have trouble spending like $2 or $3 on deodorant because I feel like it's not worth it. Like, why am I spending this much for this stick of deodorant? Like, that's like legit. That's how frugal and how cheap I am. So for me to turn around and be like, oh, I'm going to spend $25 on this cheesecake that I'm probably not going to share. Yeah. I'm driving to go pick it up. And, oh, Whole Foods is on the way. Let me go to Whole Foods. Of all places. Like, they're not going to be overly priced. Because everything is organic. Let me go to Whole Foods and see if they have any CBD products, or, because I mean, CBD itself is fucking expensive, like really expensive. And I don't feel like, even in Sugar and Kush, 1 ounce of CBD oil is $45. I gotta be really going through some shit to be like, yeah, I'm gonna spend this $45 on an ounce of CBD oil, and I pray to God that it really helps. But I'm not even thinking that way. I was like, okay, I've been thinking about getting this. I'm kind of desperate at this point. I just want to feel better. And I went ahead to Cheesecake Factory. And after last night, I may never go back into Cheesecake Factory again. It's not the service. That ain't the part that behooved me. What behooved me was, and I know I took that from Darren Fleet, so y'all don't have to act like, I'm stealing his stuff and not giving him credit. Yes. Darren Fleet, I know where I got it from. But what bothered me is the fact that I'm in the middle of an anxiety attack, and I decided to go in a Cheesecake Factory, which is never not busy. Like, it is overly packed, probably on a slow day. And I decided to go in the middle of an anxiety attack. Temporary insanity at its best. So I walk in, I'm thinking, because they tell me, okay, this is when your cheesecake is going to be ready. You can come pick it up then. All right. Mind you, I've only been in Cheesecake Factory one other time. Okay, I done ordered my cheesecake. I'm thinking it's going to be like anywhere else. You order your stuff, you go in there, give them your name, they give you what you ordered, and you walk the hell out. No, it wasn't like that. I still had to wait in line and be amongst so many people that while I was waiting, it was literally like, I have to get the fuck out of here. But I ain't gonna leave that $25 cheesecake. You better believe me. I'm gonna walk out with that bitch. Literally, once I got to the front of the line, and then she's like, oh, we'll have that ready in a few minutes. Like, you telling me I still had to wait another like 15, 20 minutes? I ordered this a half hour ago. Don't tell me I can pick it up and then it ain't even boxed up. Like, come on, Cheesecake Factory, what are we doing? So then I gotta wait some more. And of course, there's people in front of me. And when I walked in, I had no idea where the freaking line was, because there's always people around everywhere. When I finally got my cheesecake, when I tell you I booked it. And then people want to go slow out the door. Like, dude, I'm just trying to get up out of here. Like, y'all don't understand. I need to go, and y'all over here having a powwow in front of the door. Like, I need y'all to just move. You see that there's people coming out behind you. Have some courtesy and just move. Just get somewhere where you're not in everybody's way. And I went home. I was trying to finish the sermon. I had maybe like 8 minutes left. And so I was just going to sit out in the car, finish the sermon, and then go in the house. Before I got a chance to finish it, here comes my husband. He's like, oh, they need wipes. Talking about the kids. They need wipes. Are you going to get them, or you want me to go? Are you going to come in? Do I look like I want to go to the store that I work at, mind you, while I'm having an anxiety attack, to go get wipes? I know people in there, and they're going to want to talk to me, and they're going to want to say hi, and I'm going to want to slit their throats. So, no. I love my kids, but yeah, you get in your car and you go and get them wipes. I'm not about that life right now. Now, anxiety puts you in the position, in the mental headspace, where he may just be giving me space because he knows that when I get like that, I need space. But it makes me feel like he has an attitude about giving me space, even if he doesn't. So, if I talk to him, I'm like, what's wrong with you? He'll be like, I'm just waiting on you to just, when you're ready to talk, I'm just waiting. And I really planned on coming in the house and just like kind of laying on him to just kind of chill and try to relax and kind of be up under him. But then when he did that, I was like, you know what? Fuck that. So in this span of time, I have gone from social anxiety to anger to depression, which spiraled me into overspending and eating in a way that is no way healthy. Then back into a little bit of anger. And at that point I was like, I can't, like I can't go to church and deal with these people. Plus I'm in the choir, so I'm supposed to sit there and be all like, oh, church rock, we happy, we are so thankful to be here. And I just really feel like, bruh, like I just want to like sit down and pray that somebody can get me out of this. Like I have to lead you into being, being happy and praising God, and I don't even feel like being there. Like I don't feel like dealing with nobody. I don't feel like talking to nobody. I don't feel like seeing nobody. I don't feel like being around nobody. Like just being in the vicinity of another human being bothers me. I explain all of that to explain that anxiety and depression is very, very real. I mean, everybody has some form of anxiety. Everybody has, probably been through some form of depression in their lifetime. I mean, we're human, we go through shit. But a lot of people, like me, it's a lot worse than just, oh, this bothered me. Or, oh, I don't feel like going out. I don't feel like going to that party. It's not that you don't feel like going to the party just because you don't feel like it. It's, I don't feel like going to the party because there's going to be a whole lot of people there. And whether I know them or not, they're going to expect me to talk and be happy. And they're going to expect me to, mingle. And I got to talk about stuff. And, oh, what if I don't know what to talk about? And, like, that's the type of shit that, like, this type of anxiety puts you through. Like, you just obsessed about some shit that you know you shouldn't be obsessed about it, but you are. Like, I obsessed about a phone call that I had with a manager. Yeah, it's been a little over a week, and I've obsessed about that probably for half of the time. That one phone call, due to the situation that's going on at work. So, it's very annoying, and it's unfortunate because the people that don't deal with it to the extreme that a lot of other people deal with it, like they kind of ruin it for the people that really really struggle with it on a day to day. And for instance, like I remember being in church, and one of the ministers, I remember him saying, all these people that they get checks from the government because they saying they got, they're depressed and they got anxiety issues, and they got all these diseases or these disabilities to get a check from the government. It's no, it's a spiritual issue. You get your spirit right, all that happens. Let me tell you something. I done been through a whole lot in my spiritual journey, right? And I'm still learning. You know what I'm saying? I ain't no seasoned Christian. I know that my spirit and my relationship with God has grown significantly. So I have conversations with God to where we are connected in a way that I can hear Him speak to me. I used to not be able to do that. I used to not be able to hear Him. My anxiety and my depression has nothing to do with my spirit, because I love God and I serve God and I do things that I'm not necessarily wanting to do because I know that if I do them, it'll please God. I work every day to be a better person and a better Christian and a better mother and a better wife and to be just a better human being all around, so that I'm doing good, and my overall life span is going to be filled with more good than there is bad. No way, shape, or form do I feel like anxiety and depression are spiritual issues. Mind you, my kids get checks from the government. They both get SSI. They both have autism. Autism is not a spiritual issue. Autism is a neurological issue that causes people to think differently and to see the world differently and to act differently. That's not something that they can help. If they could talk to me, if they could use words that I understand to tell me how they feel, they would. But no, sometimes all they have are whines and cries because that's the only way that they can communicate. So that, my dear, is not a spiritual issue. Anxiety and depression will have you go on a random trip around the city in your pajamas and a coat with sneakers on and no socks. Shoes is untied. Didn't even bother to tie your damn shoes before you walked out the house. Just left. Didn't tell nobody where you was going. Just took a drive around the city and spent some money that you really didn't have no business spending, just because you feel unhappy with how a situation turned out. And you can't stop thinking about it. Anxiety will have you up. You just happen to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning just because, broken sleep. Who doesn't have broken sleep? You can't go back to sleep because your mind has gone to something totally different. So something that you probably haven't even thought about in like a month or two. Like, I have been trying to use my off days from work to not think about work. I've still been thinking about work because of what's been going on at work. And me having to stand up for my department because my managers don't give a fuck about my department. But that's a whole nother Dr. Phil story. But to wrap it all up in a bow, anxiety and depression is real. Point number one, very real. If you are not the one with anxiety and depression, I need you to get as much information about anxiety and depression from people who have anxiety and depression. So even if you read about it on like WebMD or something, I need you to learn it from people who actually go through it, so that you can be not only knowledgeable, but so you can understand how real it is and how it affects the person that has to deal with it. Because it's not something that we choose to deal with. It cuts into our daily happiness. Like, we can't be cool it's like, you never know when something just random is going to trigger you. You get up that day feeling, I'm alright, I'm going to go ahead, do what I got to do. And then something will just trigger you, and the next thing you know, the next hours to days or whatever, now your mental state has to figure itself out. And it has to go back to normal. So it has to recover from an involuntary reaction from something that triggered you. If you are the person with anxiety and depression, just keep going. That's all you can do. That's all you got. Like, when I realized this was like a real major issue for me, I was like, okay, because I want to be able to be happy. Who doesn't want to be able to be happy? And so I took the time to just figure out, okay, what all can I do to try and be happy? If I have to take medication, I used to not want to take medication because I thought it was going to change who I was. It doesn't change who you are in a negative way. It shouldn't anyway, if it works how it's supposed to work. So it's like you just gotta hang in there and see how things work out for you if you decide to take medication. A lot of people, they look at medication like you must be nuts or something's wrong with you if you got to take medication just to regulate your mood. Well, something kind of is wrong with me. My brain, I got a couple screws loose, and so I'm working on screwing them back in, and medication helps me screw a couple of them back in. So I mean, if that's what I have to do so that I can live a normal life as much as I can, then yeah, I'm gonna do it. I heard about CBD. So yeah, I'm gonna try some CBD. I'm open to trying things because it's more important for me to try stuff than to wind up abusing drugs or over excessively drinking like I used to do. Just so that I could find some kind of chill and some kind of happiness somewhere. We all at some point think, hey, I ain't shit. But at the same time, we thinking, I know I'm good. I know I ain't got nothing to worry about. I know God provides. But at the same time, you like, I ain't shit. So you literally fighting yourself every single day. Every moment of your life, you are fighting yourself. And no matter what other people tell you, it's not that easy to just crawl out of it. So if you are with somebody that you're around somebody that deals with like real anxiety and real depression, let them know like I am here. I know it's hard, and I know a lot of it is just us. But you know, try not to give off any kind of inclination that is bothering you, because then we're gonna turn around and be like, you bothered. Oh, okay. Well, what about me? I don't want to be unhappy. I don't want to be depressed. I don't want to be sitting here thinking about some shit from 2 years ago that ain't nobody else thinking about. Like, come on, dude. If when they want to talk, just listen. Don't give no input unless they ask for it. My husband's good for that. He thinks that when I'm venting that I'm really upset, or when I'm I just want to talk, and he'll give his input, and I'm just thinking like, dude, I don't want your input. I didn't ask for it. I didn't ask you for any questions. And most of the time if I do ask you questions, they're rhetorical. Like I don't want your feedback. I just want to be able to talk until I get out what it is that I'm feeling. And then I can go about my merry business. But if I'm going through an anxiety attack, you just have to listen when I want to talk. You have to just let me know, okay, I'm there for you. You don't have to check on me every 5 minutes. And it's like, don't get me wrong, I appreciate my husband because he'll check on me a lot, and he'll try to make sure I'm good. And it bothers him when I'm bothered. But at the same time, he can be like a stubborn asshole because he's like, I'm just waiting on you. Are you good? Are we good? That's kind of how it comes out. So it's like, I'm not trying to like bash my husband or anything, or put him on Front Street with anything that he may or may not do when I go through what I'm going through. But just be there for that person. Just let them know I'm here. Check on them maybe once every 3 hours. Don't do it often. Often is too much. It's too much interaction. Don't try to push somebody out of the house. Don't try to push somebody into a situation and you know that their anxiety is killing them right now. So, if you happen to find my video on this little YouTube situation, then look at it as informational from a person who actually experiences things rather than Googling something and getting all the book information. Because textbooks don't always, give you the real. A person will give you the real, hopefully. At the end of the day, anxiety and depression is very real. And I am trying to talk my way out of this depression that just snuck up on me like 3 shots of tequila. I'll be fine. I don't know if anybody cares. I don't really care if anybody cares, but just about me personally. But we'll be okay. We just need the right kind of support. We need the right energy around us because there is a such thing as transference of energy. So if you're giving me bad energy, it's just gonna worsen however I feel, and then we just gonna be in a ball of just fucked upism. So I hope that this gave even maybe one person some kind of inclination as to how it feels. And if you already know how it feels, that it kind of lets you know that you're not by yourself. And there are people who go through the same exact thing that you do. So hopefully, this will give somebody something to think about. While learning.